Welcome to another podcast of Tell the Story. This time we're honored to have with us Mr. E. Paul Sandage. He's a realtor, he's an educator, and he's a historian, and he's done a lot in the world of finance, education, and real estate. Mr. Sandage, welcome to Tell the Story. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. I've been looking forward to this since your daughter, Denise, told me about this, and she said that we're going to have a nice time. So it's good to have you.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. How old are you, and when were you born?
I was born May 6, 1923. I'm now 102 years old.
Wow. How do you feel?
Tip-top shape.
In fact, your daughter tells me that you're still driving around and getting around and not depending on nobody.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, that's good. What do you attribute to your longevity?
Good living. I eat well. And I think just living a good life.
Okay. Now, I know you're heavily involved in real estate and you've been involved for any number of years. Do I have that correct, that you've been involved in real estate for almost 75 years?
73 years.
73 years.
Yes.
Okay. What made you get into real estate? What was it about real estate that excited you to make you want a career of it?
I think I followed in my grandfather's footsteps. He was in the real estate business. And I was only 5 years old, but I can remember him. And he made a great impression on my life. And when he passed on and I became 14 years old, I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Once you got into the real estate business, what were some of the things that were going on at the time that really got your attention and caused you to say, I got to do something about this. I got to make my mark?
It was limited for my people. And I thought maybe I could be of service to them. I started out getting my education, which is very important, and I graduated from West Virginia State University in 1948. And I went on up to New York and was there for 2 years. And attended graduate school at New York University. And a teaching job opened up in Philadelphia in 1950 at the Berean Institute, which was a business school and a trade school. And they needed a business instructor, and I got the job. And I stayed with them for 6 years, from 1950 to 1956. In the meantime, I was working part-time at a real estate office, and I became very interested in that because I was only working part-time for 2 years. After my 6-year period ended at the teaching job, I went full-time into real estate. By this time, I was a real estate broker, and I began to began my own business. I started out at Broad and Dolphin Street, and I was there from 1950 to 1952. And I partnered with an Arthur Fawcett, who was my godfather, and he was a much older man than I was. And we opened up a real estate office in West Philadelphia at 60th and Arch Street. And in 1959, I bought him out and took over full ownership of that business. And I was very interested in serving the black community because they just didn't have anything to look forward to. Things weren't available to them. And I think I opened up a new market for them. I began to specialize in appraisal, sales, and property management. And that grew. and I was able to service my own people. And I had a number of projects during those 73 years in business. Unfortunately, there wasn't much to look forward to if you were in the category of struggling. The one thing that did open up for the black community, because housing was not available to them. And I was fortunate in being selected to handle the Yorktown project up in North Philadelphia. And that made housing available for any kind of black people, whether they were poor black people or whether they were up-and-coming black people. Yorktown was one of the best things that ever happened to Philadelphia. And I had 4 licensed salespeople working there, and we sold over 300 houses to people of all stature, from the very poor to the very rich, if you want to call it that. Yorktown became very famous. It was from Broad Street to 7th Street, from Girard Avenue down to Cecil B. Moore Avenue, so it took in quite a large part of the city of North Philadelphia. And we were able to get financing for our people, get them into the new housing, and it became so famous that it became on the National Registry historical sites in 2012. And so it's still going on today.
So let me ask you now, when you look at all the redlining that was going on, the predatory loans, the subprime loans, all the different Jim Crow laws, how were you able to do and make the impact that you made with Yorktown back decades ago?
Take Yorktown, for instance. I was able to get a mortgage company that provided all the financing for that site. And I was able to get financing, I was able to get title insurance, I was able to get fire insurance by going to these different organizations and talking with the top people, and they responded. And it made it possible for black people to get housing.
You've been listening to Tell the Story, but stay tuned because there's so much more to come. That's coming up next.